This gotta be a joke. The way I'm showing up on camera, oh my gosh. Okay, y'all, so I was doing my hair and I was doing some extended braids and they're like halfway done and I'm at the very top right now. So I look crazy, but I just woke up. Let me take a drink of water. Okay, Dasani. Actually, I didn't just wake up, but I woke up not too long ago. And I wanted to talk about this video because I've been feeling this for such a long time. And I'm really surprised nobody else has called this out. Stop fetishizing. Stop fetishizing. Y'all know what I mean. Blasian relationships. Stop. Now, obviously, right? This is really came into discussion because of the falling out of JIn Juice. Now, I don't know about y'all, but maybe it's because I have good intuition. And check out my video. I talk about trusting your intuition and how society tells you to, oh, don't judge a book by its cover, bitch. But I have really good intuition. And I just always knew they weren't gonna last. I mean, it was very clear, right? Now, if y'all don't know who JIn Juice is a Blasian couple. Is a black woman with an Asian man. And actually, I was really attracted to JIn Juice because Saros, right, the black girl, she was actually Haitian. She was Caribbean. So, as another, Haitian gal, I was like interested. I was like, okay, that's cute, right? And I feel like at the very beginning, it was very clear, like around when they first had their first child, it was very clear that the sexual attraction, it was there, the sexual attraction was there. I don't know if the mental attraction, the, psyche attraction, I don't know if that was there, but they were definitely very physically attracted to each other, right? Like literally, it was a point where fucking JIn, or whatever the fuck his name is, he couldn't keep his hands off her, right? And then they said they wanted to have like 8 kids, like 8 fucking children. When I heard that, like, why do young people want to have kids so fucking early and young? Like, when I heard that, I was just like, what are y'all in competition with the Mazelee family? Like, what y'all think this is? I really wish I could edit my videos because I would have inserted a picture and y'all would have got the joke. But they're another Blasian couple, which I'm going to be talking about them really soon. But, and then they had another kid, and then they, like, you know what I mean? And then it's just like they having another one. And then it's like, for me personally, I felt like they were moving too fast. That's the vibe that I got. I'm like, damn, y'all want to have kids already? And here's the thing about children. Children can be a blessing and a curse. In a way, right? Nah, they're blessings. They're just straight blessings, right? Because they're a blessing because you've made your own little human. You have somebody you get to take care of, somebody you have to teach the ways of life or whatever, pass on your traditions and your lessons. It's a happy moment. But another thing is that a child can reveal all of the flaws in your relationship, right? It can really change, like, you never know somebody until you have a kid with them, okay? Not until you move in with them, because, husbands and shit, they still be sneaking around and hiding and, whatever, right? But let me write this down, because I actually have another video idea. And I always forget. So, hold on, let me pause this. But yeah, like, children can be a blessing and a curse. They can, really bring y'all together. And, it's fun and all, but they can also really reveal the flaws of your relationship, right? And that's what I think was happening. They were so young. Like, I even remember watching them in the very fucking beginning where they were still living with Saros, how do you say her name? Saros's mom or whatever. And, they already was like thinking about having another kid and just keeping the streak going. She said she wants to, like, I remember watching a video. She said she didn't want to take like a year break or whatever. She wants to take like a few months break and then have another kid. And it's like, girl, you got to give your body a rest, right? I never realized this, right? I never understood this because it's like, live your young life. Because Saros, I don't know if she's watching this, but Saros, once your years are gone, they're gone. You have to you are a mother now, and you know, beautiful children, but it's like your young years are gone. You could have spent those years on somebody who actually loved you and somebody who actually would have been by your side, but instead you spent it on another guy who was probably only dating you because he fetishized you. And you fetishized him right back, right? And this is the vibe that I get from Blasian couples. I never obviously have said this like before because number one, I didn't have a YouTube channel. And number two, I kind of felt like, maybe they aren't fetishizing each other. Like I always second guess the way that I think because, I don't know, I just always second guess it, right? I never will like say something out loud initially when I think something, right? And that's my issue. I'm trying to do more like speaking up this year. But I always got the vibe that Blasian couples just fetishize each other. Like whenever I see a Blasian couple, it doesn't really feel like real love. You know what I mean? Like for example, a lot of Blasian couples, it'll be like black girl, Asian man, or Asian man, black girl, right? But in this case, there's a lot of Asian men and black women, right? That's a very popular, you know, Blasian couple dynamic, right? And whenever that happens, I just notice that it's always like they integrate more of like the Asian aesthetic and the Asian culture, whatever Asian culture, whether it's Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Taiwanese, Vietnamese, Filipino, we can go on and on, right? Why did the doors opening always scare me, y'all? It's a childhood trauma that I went through, but anyways, yeah, like I was saying, like, it just always feels like they integrate more of the Asian aesthetic. And I feel this with the Mazelee family too. Like, I'm sorry, let's get on a Mazelee family real quick because I low-key feel like they're not, like, sometimes it feels like love, sometimes it doesn't. And it's really with the man. It's always the guy with the man, and I get it, they're more reserved. I've never really felt like, he's just like weird. Like, he's weirdly unemotional on camera. You know, the wife, she's more energetic, she's more out there. He's very secluded, and sometimes it doesn't really feel like, it feels like he's fucking annoyed half the time, which I can imagine. Y'all damn near have a football team of children. Like, that's something else. Like, with a lot of Blasian couples, they want to have kids, and it's like so fucking many of them, right? But it's like, sometimes, a lot of times, I get the feeling that a lot of Blasian couples just fetishize each other. And this was a clear example of, y'all were fetishizing each other. And I felt this shit too. Like, I definitely thought this many times watching their channel, but I didn't say anything. Because I always second guess myself. And I'm telling y'all, I'm not doing it this year. Because I always feel like, I thought this too. And I thought this from the very jump. Like, I got this feeling from the very beginning. But I never said anything. It doesn't seem, and I know it kind of seems like, oh, I did this first, but like, I'm not saying I thought it first, but it's like, I felt this from the very beginning, right? It was just very clear. She fetishized the fact that he was an Asian man, and she probably fetishized Korean culture, and he fetishized black culture very fucking clearly. I mean, he was trying to be a American rapper, like, that feeling ass rapper. I was just like, what is this? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I used to laugh every time I play this. I used to laugh every time. But I also think what was interesting about them was that they were an unusual couple, right? Like, a lot of people are very shallow. A lot of people will look at Saros and think, wow, a skinny man dating a plus-sized woman, this is a win. You know what I mean? So I think that was another thing. But yeah, like, Blasian couples, they fetishize each other, and it's really an issue. Like, I noticed that a little bit with the Mazelee family. Like, maybe they don't outright do it, but it's like, at least they integrate somewhat of black culture as much as Asian culture, but they still, like, it's always like Asian culture, it's a step more, especially for black women. And I'm telling y'all, black women in Blasian relationships, stop fetishizing Asian culture. Stop putting Asian culture above your own culture, because that's exactly what it's feeling like. It's feeling like, yeah, like, especially with the Mazelee family, they be out there fucking naming their kids all types of like Korean. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be very like politically correct because I don't want to offend anybody who's possibly Asian or Korean that's watching this. There's nothing wrong with your religion. I mean, there's nothing wrong with your culture, but it's like a lot of people have the tendency to fetishize. It's like literally two of the most like fetishized / copied / culturally appropriated cultures are fetishizing each other. But I realize it's always more like with the black woman in the relationship. The black woman fetishize their own culture the most, to the point where they will name their kids fucking like JIn or something like that. I don't fucking know. Juan, whatever, something, like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's always a Korean name. Why not name your daughter Ebony? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? And I get that from the Mazelee family too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm not a huge fan of the Mazelee family, just because I feel like sometimes the father seems disconnected. Sometimes the father just seems like he does not want to be there. Right? And then, honestly, what about Jack and Rice, Slice and Rice? What about that? Are they still together? Bitch, who even fucking know? Like, there's so many Blasian couples, and it's like, it's clear fetishization, and it's always black girl, Asian man, and the black girl is integrating more of the Asian culture than her own culture. Like, they'll talk so much about Asian culture and whatever. And don't get me started on Mazelee's video with them combing, like, y'all know that one video I'm talking about when they had, like, they was doing strictly their daughter's hair in that moment, and they were like ripping her fucking hair, and I was like, them ends about to be split as fuck. Them ends about to be split as fuck. And then y'all having all of these fucking kids, which, by me, hey, if y'all got the money, y'all got the means to do it, do what y'all gotta do with shit. That ain't got nothing to do with me, okay? You got a problem? That ain't mine. But it's like, you know what I mean? So I'm glad this is really becoming a conversation. And I actually got this video inspired by a TikTok video that basically was like this. Let me see if I can show y'all. Let me put down my light. I hate when I have to do this, but I'm really not trying to fucking play this out. But it was basically something like this, right? And everybody's in the comments saying, like, they were fetishizing each other, and it was very fucking clear. Oh, it was Slice and Rice. And somebody's saying, stand Slice and Rice now. Like, this is why I stand Slice and Rice. Stand fucking nothing, okay? When are y'all gonna fucking learn to stop standing shit you see online? Because not everything is like what it seems, okay? I could post a video with somebody that I like, or somebody that I'm dating, and behind the scenes we're fucking beating each other's asses. Like, stop standing people, okay? Period. I'm fucking tired of that shit. Like, y'all get shown time and time again to stop standing these fucking social media couples and these celebrity couples, and y'all still do it. Stop this shit. What's wrong with you? We were all rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. How dare you? But yeah, y'all. I think that's the end of my video. Overall, stop fetishizing Asian culture, black women, Asian men. Stop fetishizing black women. I have nothing wrong with Blasian cultures, but they have the tendency, especially black women, have the tendency to just fetishize Asian culture, and they fetishize each other, and sometimes it never really feels like they're in love. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I would never date an Asian man of any culture, but I'm just saying, like, I definitely would not be out here fetishizing him. But yeah, yo, that's the end of my video. Moral of the story, I saw this shit with JIn Juice coming from a mile away. He just seems somewhat immature to me. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised. What's really sad is that now they have 2 children that have to deal with all of this at a very young age. This is why I say do not have kids young. Let this be a lesson that I am always right, because I always talk about, well, obviously y'all will not know because I just started this YouTube channel, but I always talk about stop having kids at a young age. Live your adult life. You are not meant to have kids at the age of 20 because you're still figuring out life. You can't even figure out your own life. How are you gonna provide for somebody else's life? Had they just waited a few more years and waited on the having children, they could have got off this relationship scot-free. But now, 2 poor, beautiful children have to suffer and deal with this, that their daddy just fucking ran to Korea. It's not funny. It's really not funny. Oh, I look really bad laughing at this. I'm not laughing at this, but I'm just laughing at the fact that he just fucking dipped. Like, it's not funny. But yeah, overall, Blasian relationships come off as really weird to me sometimes. They come off as really fetishizy. And yeah, so don't fetishize each other. We all saw this shit coming from a mile away. And stop glamorizing social media / celebrity relationships. You know, you heard it from me. I'm Soraya. You're on my fucking channel. And I'll see y'all on the next video. Bye.